I think I might have just found a hidden gem in the NFT market. What's going on, guys? In this video, I want to talk about a new project that just flash dropped last week from a massive artist who is without a doubt one of the biggest in the digital art world. In my last couple videos where I went over some projects that I was looking into, I had a very strong emphasis on the project roadmap and kind of just where they were headed for the future. But in this case, the setup is a little bit different, where the brand behind this project is already massive and already extremely successful. So once this project starts to gain some traction in the market, we could see a big jump in the floor price. And I also want to quickly point out that the main goal for this video and all the other videos I post about NFTs is just to present some opportunities that I see in the market and to keep you guys up to date with all the new releases. So if you guys do see any value in the projects that I present, always look into them on your own and do some research just so you know exactly what you're gonna get yourself into. But if you guys do wanna see more videos like this in the future, make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. So with that, let's get right into it. All right, so the reason that I'm referring to this as a hidden gem is because this project was not promoted on Rarity Tools, Discord, or Twitter, or anything leading up to the launch like all of the others. They still completely sold out when they were available to mint during this quick flash drop, just because the artist behind the project is so well known. But I think we're still in the very early stages, even on the secondary market, just because it is not yet mainstream. So the artist behind this project is DeafBeef, who is famous for his generative audio-visual NFTs that he creates with the most basic tools: a text editor, C compiler, and the Ethereum blockchain. So simple yet extremely complex, and what he's doing is completely changing the game for generative art in this digital world. And if you are not familiar with this style of art, let me show you an example of what one of his NFTs looks like. So I know a lot of people probably have mixed feelings when they see something like this, but if you think that's crazy, just wait until you see how much these pieces are selling for. Right now, the floor price, which is the cheapest piece in the entire collection, is selling for 100 ETH. $350,000 for what you just saw, and that's the cheapest one. And if we look over at this sales history over the past couple months, you can see that these things have definitely been selling. Obviously, there's no crazy volume just because they're so expensive and there's only 200 pieces, but this just shows that it's not somebody trying to jack up the floor price. This is the actual true value behind his work. So this is not the project that we're gonna be focusing on because it already exploded. It's already $350,000. But I just wanted to give you a quick background on DeafBeef's art so that you do know just exactly how big this brand already is. So the collection that he dropped earlier this week is called First NFTs, and the floor price is still sitting at a fairly normal price of 0.2 Ethereum. In this collection, there are 5,000 pieces with just around 2,000 holders in a volume of 3.9 thousand. So this project is very simple and satirical. The entire drop is really just focused around, chirping and making fun of the classic NFTs that are in the market these days. And if we go through and read some of these quotes, you can see this one says, "The first copy minted pixel art NFT to cause a gas war." Then if we come down, you'll see, the first quantum AI NFT that unlocks another over time, the first pirated theme PFP, but you get the point. All of these quotes are different but have the same idea, where he's really just going at what the markets are turning into and at all the creators who aren't trying to break the boundaries in the digital art world like he is. Too many people are coming into the market just pretending to be artists, just replicating all the same things over and over again. And you guys already know this from the title, but the way that this popped up on my radar was actually in a Twitter thread where FaZe, who is one of the most, if not the most popular influencer involved in NFTs right now, was going back and forth with DeafBeef about the release, saying that he just picked up 16 of his own on the secondary market. If we go into his public wallet, you'll see all of his first pieces that he was buying for upwards of 1 ETH just a few days ago. Whenever someone like Banks or Gary Vee, Logan Paul, whoever it is, anybody with influence in the market comes in and starts talking about a project that they're watching or that they see value in, more often than not, they're gonna quickly jack up the price of that project, which is exactly what happened here. But once you let that unfold and kind of just slow down for a few days, usually those prices will start to fade. So now the floor price is way lower than it was, even a couple days ago, but nothing has really changed. So this project alone does not have a huge roadmap like most of the others. They are donating every single dollar to charity, and they've already raised an absurd amount. But this is more of a collectible piece for people who are fans of DeafBeef's work, or for people who just want to be a part of this generative art movement that don't have an extra $300,000 to throw around. So that is where the value would be coming from, right? You've already seen the demand for his other project on the market. So as his work just continues to become more popular over time, the value of anything that he puts out is likely to rise. So that is clearly the trend that Banks noticed here, because he knows how much people value a brand over the actual image. Something that you could compare this to, at least just the image itself, are these loot NFTs that are completely taking over the market, with the floor price for this project sitting at 6 Ethereum. And I'm not comparing these two fundamentally, but just to point out that there's much more to these brands than the photo itself. DeafBeef also teased on his Twitter a few days ago that he might be coming out with more of these first pieces in the future, where he replied to someone who was calling the project trash by saying, "What if it was the first trashy joke project?" The point of satire is that many don't actually care whether it's a joke, a rock, meme coin, fine art, etc., as long as it's a token that can be thinly justified by being special in order to commodify it. And that one line pretty much sums up the entire NFT world. The true value of something is 100% determined by the market and what people think is special, right? So that's what led me to research this project even further after I heard about it from Banks on Twitter, just because I already know how valuable his other collection is. You guys all saw that the floor price is 100 ETH. So down the line, it would make sense that collectors would want pieces from all his releases, no matter what it is. And just to put this into perspective, if you compare this brand to something that many of you may be more familiar with in, say, the sneaker game or streetwear, when you have these icons like Virgil Abloh, for example, anything that he has with that off-white label is going to be deemed as valuable just because it's from him and it's original. He could quite literally release anything with an off-white label and people would buy it. So that's the type of connection that I see with DeafBeef in this art world, because he's completely pioneering the generative NFT art, and he's only getting started, right? Like, he just started this out. He's going to keep going in the future, so that's why I see the floor prices for all his projects continuing to rise down the line. If you go in and listen to some podcasts that he was on, you'll learn his backstory, and you'll notice that he really got into on-chain art during the pandemic as he was just exploring new routes for generative art. And already today, he's one of the most successful artists in the space. So that is the bull case. But with anything, whether it's stocks, NFTs, doesn't matter, there's always a bear case. And that would be exactly what you're probably thinking, where it's just a photo and people aren't going to care, people aren't going to think it's valuable, and they're just going to forget about it. At the end of the day, if you don't see value in an artist or a brand, then it's not going to be worth investing in anything they create, especially if you're just coming in to trade it and trying to flip it for a quick buck. But that's the bear case for every single NFT that comes out. So when you're looking for something, you either want to find ideas that have very solid roadmaps with some utility that's going to continue to grow in the future, or go out and find successful artists that you like where you just want to be part of their movement. So I definitely think that DeafBeef has a lot to offer here with his style of art. So that's where the value would come from over time. And like I said, other than Banks, I haven't really seen many people on social media talking about this. So we're definitely still in the very early stages. So if you guys do see value in any of DeafBeef's work, then definitely check this project out for a cheaper collectible. There's only 5,000 NFTs compared to the usual 10, and there's already around 2,000 unique owners. So that is it for today's video. If you guys do want to see more videos like this in the future, then hit that like button for me and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.